Get another winner of the Dewhurst. In he goes, in the hands of Tom Marquand. And City of Troy will be the final one. All eyes on this stellar juvenile from Ballydoyle. Hartem, the horse he beat in the superlative, just following him forward. The Dewhurst Stakes will be called by Simon Holt.
And they're off. And City of Troy jumped out very smartly on the far side, just about led early. Al Yanabi for company now in the blue and white. Evan Shaddad on the far side, settling in behind Iberian, Indian Run. Henry Adams in the purple and white array is held up towards the back with Hartem. So Ryan Moore making his own running here on City of Troy, the odds-on favourite in this Dewhurst Stakes, from Evan Shaddad, second on the far side. Al Yanabi on the near side. Back in fourth, Indian Run and Iberian, followed by Henry Adams, Array, and on the outside Hartem, and the pace doesn't look too hot. They're well grouped together. City of Troy dictating matters here as they race on towards the halfway stage. City of Troy from Evan Shaddad on the far side. Al Yanabi, Indian Run. Henry Adams pushed up to get a bit closer. Hartem on the outside from Iberian, and Array at the back of the field. Ryan Moore crouches a little lower in the saddle. He begins to ask City of Troy to lengthen now as they race on inside the final 2 furlongs. City of Troy leads the way to Evan Shahad, and the leader is beginning to open up. City of Troy, but being chased by Al Yanabi and by Iberian, running down to the final furlong. City of Troy by a couple of lengths. Al Yanabi into second, and Evan Shahad now meeting the rising ground, and here's where he's impressive. He's pulling right away. Oh, a brilliant winner of the Dewhurst. City of Troy by 4 or 5 to Al Yanabi, Evan Shahad and Henry Adams.
How we wanted it and how he delivered it. City of Troy, a spellbinding winner of the Dewhurst Stakes. He remains unbeaten. He could be one of the very best we've seen for a very long time. He's beaten El Yanabi into second place in the Dewhurst Stakes. He's returned the 15-8 on favourite for Aidan O'Brien. I listed all those winners of this race that he has saddled, beginning with Rock of Gibraltar, and there's every chance this horse could be every bit as good as any or all of those. Superb from City of Troy. Ryan Moore bounced out, and after a furlong or so you thought, well, he's riding him like he's Frankel. Winner of this race, of course, back in 2010, and just who knows what might happen next season. So exciting, thoroughly commanding, thoroughly dominant. This is City of Troy. It was the most exciting performance by a 2-year-old so far this season when he won the superlative, and this has now topped that.
Yeah, he's lived up to every bit of that promise and really delivered, hasn't he? And you touch on the point that how he was ridden through the race with just supreme confidence that he was the real deal, that he had all of that ability that the hype and the performance at Newmarket on the July course had suggested, and he's really delivered. I mean, he's opened up, he's set good fractions. They were clipping along at under 12 seconds from a pretty early stage of this race, and once he's asked him to open up and go, it hasn't taken him long.
And in Opera Singer, they both come from Ballydoyle, and if this has been a good season for them, next season promises to be even better. But let's enjoy this sparkling performance. Rumour was doing the round that Ryan Moore was happy to describe this horse as the best 2-year-old he's ever sat on. We can all now see exactly what he meant, and he's spot on as usual.
And, I think it's difficult on the evidence of his last 2 performances, and obviously, you know, we in the fullness of time we'll see how much this form was worth. But on the evidence of what we know today, it's difficult to say he's anything other than the best juvenile we've seen since the mighty Frankel. I think on those last 2 performances.
I wonder where you were going there. I thought you were going to deny it. I just no denying that. I think he's brilliant, and you know, Frankel didn't always face the best opposition because he frightened them all off. He ended up having a battle with Camford Cliffs in a lot of races. I just think this, given his connections and the Guineas, I know Russ Island will run in the Guineas because Richard Hannon's always do. Van Dijk will probably run in it.
A trial as well.
So we might see more, but then you start looking down, and there's very few in the current market that are against him. The 6-4 that was there with Sky Bet is gone now. 5-4 is the top price. Bet Victor perhaps significantly given their table connections have been 4 to 5 and they've not moved it at all. They don't want to take $1 on this horse at all. I think that's significant. Yeah, and he'll be wrapped up in cotton wool. There'll be someone watching him every time, every blade of grass that he eats. So he's not going to go